What's up, everyone? Hope everyone had a good morning. We have about 10 minutes till market open, as usual. So we're gonna just jump right into it today and start talking about the pre-market as well as the overnight session, right? So as you guys can see, in the pre-market and overnight, we're just kind of pushing down, channeling down, and right around 8 o'clock, we finally started making that push to the upside. Again, we have to keep in mind that yesterday's highs were around 34.23. We're not too far away from that. So we might just be recovering finally after that big tech sell-off and finally pushing forward. As you guys can see, the overnight session just looks like a nice little pullback, especially if we go into the higher time frames, you'll see it. But quick trend line, you guys can see, broke through. Now it might come down just a little bit and then continue momentum to the upside. And we can see that delta start to flatten out here as well on the ES and finally start to move up slowly after another, right? Keep that in mind that as of right now we are looking bullish, so definitely something to watch and maintain. Good morning, Harry. You're doing well. Yeah, in the pre-market I was just watching and then I wanted to get in on a little quick bounce play off of my support and resistance level, so I just went for one quick point. I shorted right here for a little bounce. Happened perfectly. You guys can see whenever you see those lines, that means my orders were filled. Here, just a quick 100 just to start the day off. And I want to be waiting for those algo plays, but in the meantime I will go for my quick scalps whenever I get the opportunity for them. We can get up here. I highly doubt we'll get up there unless we have a big pump. I mean, I'm hoping we get that big pump because I am in some calls with options for Apple right now, so I wouldn't mind that. But overall, we have the potential to reach up there today, probably by end of day maybe, as long as market conditions are good. If not, we'll see. We might just end up hitting resistance level from yesterday around 34.51, but I took my scalp here. Next scalp I'm going to take for today is going to be up here, but in the meantime I'm going to be waiting for potential algo play to come up. If it comes up, you know, some mornings it won't pop up, and that's okay. Obviously, the pre-market over volume node high is around 33.82. If we want to play the volume profile game, see it reverse down and bounce off. But obviously, the minute 9:30 hits, all this changes up pretty fast. No, I'm not on the Z contract yet. I can roll it forward. Go forward? No, not yet. I'm still in the ESU, not the Z, because the U still has the higher volume at the moment. Yeah, if you look at the Z contract, the volume's really nothing. Gonna repeat the same cycle over and over again, just copy start. Good morning, Mustafa. Hey guys, like pretty much every morning for the past couple of days, same pattern, right? Chopping up and down, not too much volume going on, especially on the dome. If you guys look at it, opening volume should be a lot higher. So we're again, right now our game plan at the moment, wait for the first 15 minutes, go for a quick scalp out of the breakout, and then we'll also be looking for an algo play as always. Keep in mind yesterday's highs right here, right? I'll draw a line for you guys, that way it's on the chart. Yesterday's highs were 34.5, right around that area. Got a new subscriber, so thank you for that. Dragon, thank you for subscribing. And if you weren't here with us earlier, I took a trade in the pre-market. I wasn't on the live stream yet. I always start the live stream right before market open, but always looking at my charts before too. Took a quick scalp like I always do with the support and resistance, just for 1 point. Could have went for 2, but I just want a quick trade. So we're $100 positive as of right now. We're just going to be waiting for our breakout of morning range. We're going to be waiting to possibly get an algo alert today. I think the past 2 days we didn't really get one. I mean, we've been getting like really early in the like at 7 o'clock. That happens, right? And the market's like it's always changing. But yeah, $100 so far. Quick scalps, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to on the big moves, but we just have to wait for them. Yeah, if you forgot to subscribe, then yeah, they won't pop up on your feed. I always put the videos like ahead of time, so you can always just hit a reminder on the streams when they pop up, and then they'll always be on your front page. Dome is finally looking good again. The normal dome. Still a bit lower on the volume side, but that might be because we're getting closer to contract expiration for the futures. So we might see some resistance at the high of previous day, right? That always acts as a nice level. A lot of people only trade based off of that, but I feel like that just takes so long, and sometimes it's not the most accurate. So we're just gonna see how it reacts over here. If we could potentially just make a small move down and then bounce off of our support and resistance level right here around 3409, I might consider getting in right there. And again, thank you all for liking the video. You know how that always means a lot to me. Let's see what Harry said. There's also a cumulative delta divergence, maybe in short. Get out. There is, yeah, there is divergence, but nothing is strong, right? One thing you want to watch out for the cumulative delta if you want to confirm divergence is make sure you're looking for the red lines, depending on whatever screen you're on, right? I know it pops up differently, but me personally, I would wait to see if we can get a nice big red line going right here on the delta, then we can confirm it. If not, just price fluctuating, and we might just continue. And what's nice about this right now is the first 15 minutes they're pushing up. It broke above the first 5 minutes, right, already. My only concern is that how close it is to the previous day high, so it might just have a little bit of back. So pretty much, I'm not gonna draw it out this time just because it makes it harder on trade if it to place the orders if you have something drawn there. Um, but our morning range as of right now, the low is 3411, right? 3411.25. Our high at the moment, we saw it like 2 minutes before. finishes, but as of right now, it's 34, 22, 25. Breaks below this. The only issue that I have right now is how close it is to our support and resistance level. So if we're going short, I wouldn't feel too confident, right? It might just bounce completely. If we go long, we have the previous day high. So what I might do actually, wait for it to break out, come back, and then go for the second breakout. Interesting to interesting to watch is always the higher time frames to just see the overall trend of the market, right? On which direction we should get. I'll just show you um on the algo, right? This is the 1 day chart for the ES, and as you guys can see, 1 day works perfectly, following our rules, just break out of the price. Right now, this is still forming, so we won't know if this is a confirmed signal until tomorrow, because obviously, day charts, we have to wait till it breaks out of this price. But if it gets confirmed, easy prediction move is up to, again, 35, 64, 75. We might have a nice big push over the next couple of days, but we'll find out, well, at the end of today, see what happens. If it can, then I'm definitely going to be some calls and be bullish on a couple of things, but as of right now, the 5 minute chart is just completely pushing up. Again, we're about to break out of this. I just don't feel comfortable, so I'm going to go with my gut feeling today. I'll wait till it breaks out once, comes back down, then I'll try to enter. These reversals at the previous high of day do happen a good amount of times. I made a point there, but that's okay. I wanted to come back down here, touch the high volume node of the day, then I'll put my order up here. This is one of the only stuff out. So this box right here, our opening range. Like I said, my gut feeling was right for now because broke through, came right back down. Now I wouldn't mind putting. Now the second time we go up, we'll have a lot more buyer pressure if we go back up. In this case, we could have just, the high was 34. We would have had a chance of getting filled, but not highly like so. Buy stop. I'll just go for another quick deal. It'll be a quick play. If it hits it, I expect that to be like a 30-second move or less. Okay, like we were talking about the cumulative delta before, now this is our confirmation to see the push to the downside. But me personally, I like depending on my support and resistance levels. So let's see what happens to it. Pushes, it can bounce back up. Interesting thing is on the delta for the NQ, we're still pretty strong. When we're trading, we like to make sure everything is in sync. Don't mind getting in another here, right? Quick bounce play off of the point resistance level. Might try to enter after the price crosses instead of just doing buy there. I might wait to see because like, we might get a big push from this. So that's the only reason I want to be careful. I don't want to leave an open order like that. That price 34. So two things can happen from this, right? This could be the moment where everything reverses and goes back down, or we could just use this as like our pullback area because we have been pushing up for a while without any real pullback since about 725, and we made a move from 33.84 all the way up to 34.23, about 40 points. So we do always need to pull back. These are minor pullbacks, but potentially be a pullback. We can get filled, push. I'd like to see that happen.
got filled.
Okay, we just got filled right there. Let's see if we can just get that quick push. So when I'm looking at stocks, Jonathan, I am looking at the 1 hour because I swing trade stocks a lot. But for the ES, I just look at it to just confirm the direction of the market and how everything's performing. But I won't be placing trades based on the 1 hour because you just need a lot of risk.
Order filled.
And order filled there, guys. Another 100 right there. Quick trades, quick scalps. Again, we had that previous day high right there. That's why I didn't want to go for anything big. And again, our average trade time is 28 seconds. We'll see if we can get any other moves going today. But yeah, going back to your question, Jonathan, the 1 hour for the algo, it works amazing, especially if you're swing trading. So if you're trading micros and you're using 1 hour, you can definitely make some good money off of that. It's pretty consistent too, right? So up the micro charts, that way I can show you guys since this order is done. So let's take a look at the MES, right? Obviously, this was our little tech sell-off right here. If you wanted to short 1 hour, you can. ES for long it, going long, just we're always trying to push higher. So you guys can see like signals for the 1 hour, perfect every single time. But then when you do have chop, and then you could get a false alert, that's you can't win 100% of the time, right? That's why the win rate it's pretty much around 80 to 85%. So you just go back, right? Micros, just buy, hold, come back after a couple hours, and just see your account grow. Micros, you can easily do that. I was actually thinking, or just a little side thing, right, was start a new micros account and then just swing trade that without top step involved at all, right? That way I can hold even overnight or when market closes that little bit. But top step I can't do that. They don't want me to. They want me to clear my position by the end of the day. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, it works. Like I use it. You guys see me use it. Um, but the only thing is, right, you're paper trading, that's one thing. But when you're trading with real money, do you want to risk that much with the regular ES, right? Especially if you're starting out. That's the big thing. Like I wouldn't mind swinging the ES if it was like last year because I did go for some swing plays last year because the market was a lot slower. With this volatility and these random moves, it's for me my risk. I don't like risking too much my account, right? I don't want to be blowing too much just because of one play. Go for quick scalps and I'll go for big moves on based on the momentum. The amount of losses I try to keep them to a minimum, but yeah, you can trade them in the 1 hour if you're okay with that risk tolerance. Because like for example, right, up the hour. Just do this. So So let's say you went for this move right here, 1 hour. So you enter at 3401.75. Your first stop loss level would have been what? 39 points. Obviously, you would trail it, especially if you're swinging. Like, obviously, if you're trading the 1 hour charts, definitely trail your stops. Second stop loss, you could have put it at 50 points. 50 points, pretty big stop. But obviously, with these type of moves, you get big profits as well. Like, first take profit was at 35, second take profit was at 70, so on and so on at 108. But it's up to you for your risk tolerance. For these plays, I tend to just, look at the QQQ or TQQQ and I'll try to just buy the stock, or I'll short it, or just buy some options for it because it's an easier way. But for the ES, I don't want to risk 50 points. $50 times 2 because I traded 2 contracts out. For me, that would have been a $5,000 drawdown initially for me to risk. Oh, that's exciting, man. You're gonna love E-Trade, especially Power E-Trade. Their platform, love it. Especially when I'm trading options or anything like that. Power E-Trade makes everything so much easier, better than TD Ameritrade or any other platform. Robinhood, the quotes are kind of delayed if you notice. Like, if you match it up side by side, you'll notice that your fill rate on the Robinhood, you're losing like a couple bucks every single time. And Robinhood crashes and has so many issues. Like, I don't like it. My two favorites are one, E-Trade, two, TradeStation, because it lets me trade right on TradingView. I can just place the trade right on the chart. Love that feature. Those are my top two. And obviously, Trade of 8, for futures. Mainly because of like the bracket system. In and out trades. Nice, simple. So yeah, Connor, you're gonna have a nice week next week. Once those funds clear. Yeah, guys, talking about it before, right? What did I say? Like, I didn't feel comfortable because yesterday's high was right there at 34, 24, 25. That's why we only went for that 1 point here. Went for 2 points or more, it would have got stuck and it would just reversed right on us, right? When you have good levels coming up, don't try to push through it. Wait for it to at least like buffer before and then go through it. There's always going to be sellers at those levels, especially when you're trying to push up. right around 10 o'clock. We might get that 10 o'clock chop. When trading the ES, it's just literally a lot of patience. Yeah, that's the one reason I love Tradevate is for the performance center because they legit break everything down for you. Like other brokers, I don't see them doing this. So like when I saw this, like it helps me when I'm like I said at the end of the week and I analyze all my trades again, um, just to see where I went wrong or where I went right. Makes it super easy. You can get the data for like the previous month, previous 2 months, whatever, however long you want it, and it just breaks down each trade for you, tells you the time you took it at. And then one of the coolest features I like, right? This one, start noticing when perform the best. Like this is one of the reasons why I trade only the mornings because I've seen my personal performance was the best at between 8 and 12. Whenever I took trades after that, I saw losses. I saw that pattern coming up. So I made that rule. Hey, just stick with it between 8 and 12. That's when I found profits. That's what I've been doing. So having good data, very important. That's why for futures, I highly suggest Tradevate. I'm not an affiliate or anything. This is just my personal opinion. Um, I love the data, man. Breaks down your winners and your losers. Good data, definitely. Especially when you want to review and analyze how you're performing as a trader. I think this is one of the best. Because I think for other brokers, you have to like pretty much take your statements and take it to another third-party website, pay for that service, put your trades in, and then it'll analyze it for you. I'm like, that's such a process. So it's like having this breakdown right here. I love it. Obviously, I would show you guys. I want to show you guys like the full screen of it, the way it looks. But like, if I do that, then it reveals my account info, my account number. So I'll have to figure out if I can cover that up one day, and then I'll show it to you guys. But you gotta keep your account information private. Yeah, TraderBait is web based, so you can just use it on your web. So if, I know some people that they trade futures while they're at work because they can just log in on their website. But I prefer the actual application because then there's no network issues. There's nothing like that. Sometimes with web-based stuff, things can crash more, and that has happened to me before with Tradevate one time. Ever since then, I just started using the desktop platform. Yeah, we're approaching previous day high again. Remember, before I said you can easily bounce off of the previous day high, and that's exactly what happened today. But sometimes we break through the previous day high and just completely push up. If if we're getting a second breakout, right now is when it's gonna happen. but it needs to push through that previous day high. That's when we might see some buyers finally step in. Let's just pull up the dome again just to see how the orders are piling up. Got some order sellers piling up at 34.25. So they want to, break it out but then push down. Okay. Buyers not, but let's see. At 34.25, guys, that's our key point right now, because that's previous day high. It's an easy level to follow. Let's see if the dome, when it says like 598, 600, let's see if that's actually sorry, sellers piling up, or if it's just people just trying to play with the algorithm. Sorry, I think that's water. But I don't know. Like, I think it's just with practice, man. I've been staring at the screen for so long that you just start understanding. It's like in the peripheral vision. Like, I just see it happening. Like, so I use the dome just to understand where sellers or buyers are piling up, just to make sure that I'm on the right track. But honestly, once you start staring at the dome a little bit, you'll start understanding how it works. And it's the same thing with the charts, right? In the very beginning, when you first open your chart, like, you're confused, like, okay, what the heck is all these, like, order all these bars and everything? And but then you realize, okay, step by step, you just start learning. And same thing, practice just makes perfect. That's why they say that there's that one person where, like, you need to, like, spend like 10,000 hours on something before you become like an expert at it. And that's true. Like, you need to spend a lot of time. Yeah, Warren, definitely knowing what time of day you're most profitable is very important. Which numbers matter at the top or the bottom? What do you mean by that, Enzo? I'm a bit confused by that question. Are you talking about the numbers down here? Or are you talking about the ones that are constantly moving? Oh, so the ones that are moving, the which ones I look for is I'm pretty much analyzing for the highest numbers, right? Where sellers are piling up. So you see right here, right? Obviously, it's gonna be moving pretty fast. So, they'll say like 230. You just start noticing where sellers are piling up, and you'll see the pretty much in TradeAvate. What I like is the bars itself, they get bigger. Like here right now, I just switched. It shows as they're moving up, it'll show you where the orders are piling up. If it's anything under 400, really not on my radar, just because it doesn't matter. When I start seeing 500, 600, or 1,000, that's when I'm like, okay, let me pay attention to that price point more. If I'm playing on an entry, let me wait it out. But these numbers pretty much matter more, but it's just a matter of understanding how many orders there are. If you see like 600 or 1,000 or 1,000 plus, you want to be very careful. But don't trade just off of that, right? Because what happens is there are moments where people like to mess with the Wall Street algorithms that they use that pretty much trade based on the dome and the order flow, and they try to trick their system by placing really high orders, but then right before price touches it, they cancel it. So right now you see orders piling it up at 34.25. It's been consistent. before we saw it at 600 and then 570 before that, and then those are some things I mentally just keep in mind all the time when I remember the numbers and how much volume there was piling up there. Right now, went from 600 to 800, so that means sellers are really starting to pile up there because they don't want ES to push through that. And now we're just starting to chop around again. On my alerts, if you were swing off of them, what's the safe distance for your stop loss? Well, the stop loss is calculated on the alerts, right? So if you pull up the algo on your charts, here, I'll give you a perfect example. The same example that we were talking about before, since I have it drawn out, right? So right here, you'll see, get the alert, sell, so you're shorting. The white line's your entry price, and then your green lines are your take profits. Your stop loss, you can, when you're swinging, just keep it at the first red line. When you're playing in the 5-minute charts, put it at the second red line. Those are your stops. They're always measured out for you. That way your risk to reward is always in your favor. And yeah, that's the point of the algo. Like, it calculates a risk and reward for you so that it places your stop at a perfect point. Well, it shouldn't hit, right? As long as there's momentum and concentration. I know on the Discord it won't tell you the stops and everything because, well, I can't program it to do that. But that's why you have to like pull up your chart and just check. Because on the chart, on your chart, it'll automatically draw it for you. Oh, when am I moving it down? Oh, okay. Yeah, here. Let me explain that. So yeah, let's just walk it step by step, right? First, we enter our order. Our stop loss is going to be at 34.40.75. And then what I do when I'm swinging, right? Every time a new candle finishes, I'm just going to move it to the previous candle's high. So for this one, since I started at 34, 40, 75, once this candle finished, I'd move it to the top right here. And I'll just trail. Because in the Heikenashis, it's already like there's a bit more of a gap. So it works out perfectly. You can just trail by the candle. The shorter time frames, you want to use 2 candles, but on the hourly charts, you're better off just using the 1 candle right after it closes. Then once this candle closes, my stop loss would be right here at 34.15.5. Then once this candle closes, right here, and then I'll just continue that. But then what happens is once it hits take profit level 1, I don't mind keeping my stop at break even. So even if it buffers a little bit, I can let it move down completely. Because I would always take off 1 contract at take profit level 1 just to secure some profits, and then the rest break even, maybe put it right down here, and then let it run through. Do I have a rule as a safe distance? Well, the rule would be just trailing it for the previous candle's high, right? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. When I pulled up the chart, I wasn't looking at the chat. Happening. Potential reversal to the downside if we can continue to have some pressure from the sellers. But as of right now, it's still in that chop, right? And we still haven't really broken through that morning range. Let's extend this. Tesla doing Tesla. Tesla is doing Tesla. So once Tesla can break above 396.94, place your order right up here. You could have the potential for Tesla to go all the way back up to 509.63. For this move, placing my order for this. one second. Yeah, it's a nice long-term hold. It has a lot of potential for growth. But I just got in. I got filled at 396.94, and my first take profit level for it's gonna be at 434.50. That'll be a 9%, right? For the first take profit. See if it can hold. Market is a little weak at the moment. This is just chop. Dragon, thanks for letting me know about Tesla real quick. My alert did come, but I just wasn't. Yeah, right now, guys, it's just chop, so be careful if you're getting in any trades. Just bouncing around in that morning range happens a lot of times. Yeah, this is just pure chop, so avoid looking a few minutes. Hey, if you guys got in any trades, let me know. Let me know how you guys did this morning. Yeah, that's okay. You'll end up finding some move based on your analysis, right? I know you traded different methods. Hunter, I was able to get in. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. Etsy charts. And the Etsy 1 hour charts. Got a good move. I feel like Etsy has been growing just because people really love like handcrafted stuff now. That's a big trend. As well as the customization aspect of everything. And another one to keep on your radar is Upwork. Why Upwork? Just because the amount of freelancing is just going through the roof right now. Especially with COVID and everything, everyone's one, they're trying to look for career opportunities, or two, they want extra money, so they're starting side hustles on Upwork, doing freelancing whenever they can. And a lot more people are using Upwork as well. Their user rate has increased. So Upwork could be like a really good long-term goal. When I say long-term, like like at least 1 year. The Delta's still kind of weak. Still continue that shift to the downside, right? NQ on the other, not really giving up much. Uber long. Uber is one of those tricky ones. Like it will bounce back. I see it bouncing back for sure because people will end up using Ubers normally, regardless. But how well it's gonna grow, that's a different story. Especially with a lot more people moving out of the city, right? Like, guess what? If they're moving to the suburbs, they're gonna get a car. So I think usage of Uber just due to the coronavirus has gone down tremendously. And then I know I personally, when I'm looking up for Ubers or anything, I remember looking like last month or something for an Uber, and we could barely find any. They weren't on the roads. So it's like I think Uber can definitely bounce back after we get the vaccine and everything, and things start to go back to normal. Definitely go back to its original price. I think it can definitely go back up to like 41 area, but breaking above 46 is gonna be tough. They need to be profitable for that because you have to understand one thing with Uber, it's a pretty long hold. This isn't like just a 1 year hold type situation, it's like multiple years, a retirement planning hold. It's struggling since IPO, right? It IPO'd around $46, and then ever since then, kind of just continued the downtrend. And like March sell off due to COVID did not help one bit. It bounced back for sure because well, whole stock market bounced back, right? But now it's just becoming range bound a little bit. And one thing I feel like that's gonna hurt Uber the most is all these electric car companies coming out with like autonomous driving, right? Guess what? You can just have an autonomous taxi car. Get in, it drives for you, right? What's gonna happen then? Why would people need to use Uber? Because Tesla said that one time. They said want to make autonomous like taxi cars too. So if that can happen, if we get approval for that, that would be pretty much game changer for right? Why would you need to use Uber if Tesla can just manage it on their own? We're getting a nice sell off right now. Wow. Broke through that morning range finally, got out of that chop, broke right through. '92, '96, good support. That was a pretty rapid sell off right there. Took the buyers out. We had like 800 orders right there at 3,400. Took it out. Just personal moment. Hourly charts real quick. So on the hourly charts, we are still pretty much in a downtrend at the moment. We're pretty much just bouncing off of trend line. So let's see. This is where we might see some top in the hourly. Could be a potential just EMA bounce right down to the 200 EMA. Bounce right back up. But right now, buyers are just trying to step in and stop that big sell off.
So the thing with this type of sell-off is that most times they just act as like big pullbacks. Like for example, right, in the overnight session, what happened? Go right up, big sell-off, push right back up, right? And we broke through our previous pivots and we're trying to make higher highs. This is the first time we made higher highs. This moment will tell us if we're trying to continue that uptrend or if we're trying to continue the downtrend. So this is a moment where you have to be very careful and pay attention to how the market is reacting. But to confirm this higher high setup, right, I want lower highs to happen too. I want it to reverse right here or here, around the 200 which is a perfect area to reverse and continue its move to the upside. That's when we know trend shift has happened and that we want to push higher. I would get short only if it was putting up like lower lows and lower highs, right? That means trend is continuing. It's making a nice to the downside. That's a good place to get short. But right now, it broke through our previous pivots, multiple pivots, right? So as long as we get some buyer support right here, we should be good to continue to the upside. we can see sellers are still getting weaker, buyers are stepping in, push higher, but I could be getting strong right now.
Pushing through. Yeah, Apple's pretty much turning into a sell setup. Just selling all, guys. There's any. Yeah, Apple's pretty much just leading the market. See if we can bounce off of the high volume nodes right over here. I personally don't want to get in because it just seems like a rapid sell off. I want to get caught in that. Yeah, that would have been nice to catch you, right? And if you went for that morning breakout play, you could have. This is the morning range, right? Right here, this box. The low of the morning range was 34.1125. Once it broke through that, it touched it before, but before we were waiting for it, and then we knew that we had a support and resistance line right here. That's why we were cautious about it. But this time, pretty much just flew through. Yeah, if we hit 33.78, then our higher high theory is pretty much out of the door. If we break through this, then we're continuing that downtrend. Actually, pretty much bounced off of that high volume node right there at 82. Yeah, man, that's why you gotta be careful with the NQ. I personally just like the ES better. It was a bit slower. NQ, you could be down so much so fast. Again, you could be up a lot like really quick too, but ES is definitely my favorite. NQ, if anything, go to the micros. But yeah, some people definitely got caught here. Because they saw this candle, they just want to get in. They probably did market orders and then boom. Yeah, NQ, man, like when you're starting out, you will get burned. It's a complete beast. You can trade it. It's just a matter of like have to make sure you can afford those drawdowns. Yes, it's a bit slower and get in and out quickly, so it's like I like that. NQ, boom, it's gone, right? If you're like doing like micros with the NQ, and then you're swing trading that, that actually has some good moves. But yeah, you don't see me trading the NQ too often. I just use it as another like support to understand what's happening. Are they in sync? There's divergence. That sucks. If you got caught on the NQ for two, like, oof. Yeah, you can always trade like pre-market as well. I think it's up to you, like on how well you're succeeding, right? That works for you consistently, and then just trade the pre-market only. But I like playing for my alerts. I'm waiting for them. See what happens, and I go off the support and resistance things, and that comes happen pre-market, post-market, whenever. Those levels are based on price, so it doesn't matter what time you're trading the levels. It's still gonna happen, right? This level right here, we get hit before. Right here at when the overnight session started, right? Hit our level, bounced right back down. Today, hit our level, we went for that quick scalp, pushed up, but ended up coming down again. I mean, we are due for an alert if we are able to push up here. Get some buyers to finally step in. Yeah, then definitely. The past few mornings, we haven't really had a good alert in the morning. No alert. But that's just part of the game. Not every day is going to be the same. That's why it's so fun and entertaining as well. It's like a new challenge every day. That's what I love about it. Finally getting some buyer support right here. Might get an alert. But yeah, sometimes what happens is so that momentum isn't there, right? And the algo's not going to pick it up and it's going to find that momentum. Sometimes it happens towards the end of the day. My preference is to trade the mornings, and that's what I do. Like I showed you when I saw my results all the time using their platform. 9 to 12, where I got my best results. That's why I trade that. But past couple days we haven't been getting any big moves. Just quick scalps. But getting those in every day always adds up. But I think I am gonna hop off the stream now just because, sellers might still attack, but we might get an alert, but it might be a little time. But we're still profitable, so I think I'm gonna call it a day for futures. At least I'm gonna watch the Tesla play I got into. But other than that, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Hope if you guys get any trades, I hope you guys are profitable. And until then, yeah, out.